I bought my first Tesla 3 years ago at 52 years old. And I'll be honest with you, I thought I was making a mistake. I'd driven Ford trucks and Toyota sedans my entire adult life. The idea of plugging in my car every night felt like buying a phone that couldn't make calls. But here's what nobody tells you about owning a Tesla until you actually own one. It changes how you think about cars completely. So today, I'm walking you through 10 reasons why. Even as someone who was skeptical about electric vehicles, I now think buying a Tesla in 2026 is one of the smartest decisions you can make. Let me start with number 1, and this is going to sound small, but trust me, it matters more than you think. The phone key feature means I haven't touched a car key in 3 years. You walk up to the car with your phone in your pocket, the door unlocks automatically. You sit down, press the brake, and you're driving. When you park and walk away, the car locks itself based on your phone's distance. I know this sounds trivial, but when you've spent 30 years fumbling for keys in the parking lot at Costco, or realizing you left them in your other pants, you start to appreciate this kind of thing. My wife still drives a regular car, and every time I use her vehicle, I catch myself trying to open the door without keys like an idiot. That's how quickly you get used to it. Number 2 is something that surprised me more than anything else: the maintenance, or really, the lack of maintenance. In 3 years of ownership, here's everything I've done to maintain my Model Y. I've added windshield washer fluid twice. I've replaced the cabin air filters once, which cost me $35 on Amazon. I've rotated the tires every 10,000 miles at a local shop for about $50 each time. That's it. No oil changes every 3,000 miles. No transmission fluid. No spark plugs. No timing belt. No exhaust system issues. I used to own a 2015 Ford F-150 that I love, but between oil changes, transmission services, and general maintenance, I was spending close to $1,200 a year just keeping it running. With the Tesla, my annual maintenance cost is under $200. For someone like me who's thinking about retirement in the next decade, that kind of savings actually matters. Number 3 is the home charging situation, and this one took me the longest to understand. Before I bought the car, I was worried about finding charging stations and waiting around like you do at a gas pump. Turns out, I was thinking about it completely wrong. I installed a wall charger in my garage for about $500, and now I plug the car in every night like I plug in my phone. I wake up every morning with a full charge. The only time I use public charging is on road trips, which I'll talk about in a minute. But for daily driving, I haven't been to a gas station in 3 years. You know what I don't miss? Standing outside in 20-degree weather in January, pumping gas at 7 a.m. before work. You know what else I don't miss? The smell of gasoline on my hands. My wife keeps asking when she's getting a Tesla, because she's tired of stopping for gas twice a week. Let me talk about number 4, which is the Tesla Supercharger network. When I was considering buying an electric car, this was my biggest concern. I drive from Phoenix to San Diego a few times a year to visit my daughter, and I thought I'd be stuck sitting at charging stations for hours. The reality is completely different. Tesla Superchargers can take your battery from 10% to 80% in about 20 minutes. That's exactly how long it takes me to use the restroom and grab a coffee anyway. The network is huge now. There are superchargers every 50 to 100 miles on major highways. The car's navigation system automatically routes you to chargers and tells you exactly how long you need to plug in. You pull up, plug in, and the charging starts automatically. No apps, no credit cards, no membership cards. It bills your account linked to the car. Last month, I drove to Denver, which is about 600 miles from my house. The trip required 2 charging stops, which added maybe 40 minutes total to my drive time. Honestly, at my age, I need those bathroom breaks anyway. Number 5 is safety, and I'm not talking about feelings here. I'm talking about actual crash test ratings. The Model Y that I drive has a 5-star safety rating in every category from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. The Model 3 has the lowest probability of injury of any car they've ever tested. Part of this comes from the battery placement at the bottom of the car, which lowers the center of gravity and makes rollovers nearly impossible. Part of it comes from the fact that there's no engine in the front, so you have this massive crumple zone that absorbs impact. My brother-in-law was in a serious accident in his Model 3 last year. Someone ran a red light and T-boned him at about 45 miles per hour. The car was totaled, but he walked away without a scratch. The side impact protection and the reinforced battery pack saved his life, according to the police report. At our age, safety isn't something to take lightly. Number 6 is the Tesla app, which gives you control over your car from anywhere. I can start the climate control from inside my house, so the car is already cool or warm before I get in. I can check if the car is locked. I can open the trunk if someone needs to put something in while I'm not there. I can see exactly where the car is, which came in handy when my grandson borrowed it and forgot where he parked at the mall. But my favorite feature is checking the charging status. When I'm plugged in at a Supercharger, I can sit in a restaurant and get a notification on my phone when the car is ready to go. I don't have to stand there watching a pump. For someone who grew up having to go to the bank to deposit checks and mail letters to pay bills, having this level of control from your phone feels like science fiction. Let me get to number 7, which is space and storage. I know this is an SUV, so you expect space, but the Model Y has more storage than my old F-150 did. You've got the normal trunk space in the back, which is bigger than most SUVs because there's no gas tank taking up room. The back seats fold completely flat if you need to haul something big. I've fit a 65-inch TV back there without any problem. But then you've also got the frunk, which is the front trunk where an engine would normally be. I keep emergency supplies in there, jumper cables, even though I've never needed them, a first aid kit. It's about 4.1 cubic feet of extra storage that most cars just don't have. When we go on vacation, we can fit 4 large suitcases in the back and still have room for groceries or beach chairs in the frunk. Number 8 is the software updates, and this one is hard to explain to people who haven't experienced it. Your car gets better over time. Tesla sends out over-the-air updates, just like your phone updates, iOS or Android. Sometimes it's small things like improving the user interface or adding new games to play while you're charging. Sometimes it's major improvements. Last year, they updated the suspension software on my car and improved the ride quality without me taking it to a shop. They've improved the range through better battery management software. They've added new safety features. Those recalls you hear about on the news for Teslas, most of them are just software fixes that happen overnight while the car is parked in your garage. Compare that to traditional car recalls where you have to schedule an appointment, drive to a dealership, and wait around for hours. Number 9 is full self-driving capability, or FSD as they call it. Now let me be clear about something right up front. This is not actually full self-driving yet. You still need to keep your hands on the wheel and pay attention. But I've been using it for about 6 months now, and it's genuinely impressive. The car can navigate city streets, stop at traffic lights and stop signs, make turns, change lanes on the highway, and take exits. I used it on that Denver trip I mentioned, and the car did about 80% of the driving. I still had to take over occasionally when it got confused, but most of the time it handled everything smoothly. For long highway drives, it makes a huge difference in reducing fatigue. Tesla is currently running fully autonomous robotaxis in Austin with no driver at all, using the same hardware that's in the car you can buy today. I'm not saying we're there yet for regular consumers, but the technology is advancing faster than I expected. And finally, number 10 is the cost, which might surprise you. The base Model 3 starts at around $37,000 right now. The Model Y that I drive starts at about $40,000. Now, I know that's not cheap, but consider this. The average price of a new car in America today is almost $50,000. You're getting a Tesla for less than the average new car. And remember everything I said about maintenance costs and fuel savings. I was spending about $200 a month on gas with my F-150. Now, I spend about $30 a month charging at home. Even less in the summer when my solar panels are producing extra electricity. That's a savings of about $2,000 a year just on fuel. Add in the maintenance savings, and over 5 years, you're talking about $10,000 or more in savings compared to a traditional car. I got the Model Y long range, which cost me about $48,000. For that price, I'm getting a vehicle that's safer, requires almost no maintenance, costs a fraction to operate, and has technology that's years ahead of anything else in that price range. Look, I understand if you're skeptical. I was skeptical too. I thought electric cars were for tech enthusiasts and people who wanted to make a statement about the environment. But after 3 years of ownership, I can tell you this is just a better way to own a car. It's more convenient, it's cheaper to operate, and honestly, it's more fun to drive than anything I've owned before. If you're in the market for a new vehicle in 2026, at least test drive one. You might surprise yourself, like I did. What's holding you back from considering an electric vehicle? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this helpful, subscribe to the channel, because I've got more real-world Tesla content coming your way. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.